What's happening, guys? We load? Yeah, excellent. We're live and loud and clear, I hope, coming out to you. Welcome along, guys, to another episode of 420 News. It is Fri-High-Day. Hope everybody's ready to blaze one up out there, guys. Or if you're consuming edibles, then you're ready to indulge in a lovely treat. But I'd like to just give a quick shout out there to the sponsor of today's smoke. Thank you, Shannon. Nice and thank. Guys, thank you, Shannon's after hooking us up with some free bud there, and has also said that if anybody wants the Addy for the Snapchat account, if you want to get hooked up yourself in Cork, just drop me a message and I'll send you the actual Addy there for thank of Shannon. So yeah, quite nice stuff as well, in fairness. It's a haze, a strawberry haze apparently. Not much of a strawberry flavour to it, in fairness, but it's still tasty nonetheless. It definitely has the haze bang off it, so quite tasty stuff. So nice one, thank you, Shannon. A fan of the show, a supporter of the show, and wanted to hook me up with some bud, and yeah, I could only be nice enough just to return the favour and give the dude a shout out. So nice one again, dude, really appreciate it. So we'll blaze this one up with all of you lovely folks out there. So just packing up a bowl here now. Nice. Boom. There we go. Lovely green. Oh, come on, focus. Nah, doesn't want to focus today. She's a full bowl anyway, guys. No skimping on the greens. Also like to say nice one to R420 Supplies. Go on, focus. Come on, camera. You can do it. There we go. Yes, R420 Supplies hooking us up with a lovely grinder at the Phoenix Park Smoke Up. So putting that to good use here on the show today. Blazing on up. So guys, nice one everybody. Hope we're all doing this in solidarity together. Yummy. Absolutely delicious. So guys, let's get stuck into today's 420 news. The first headline I have up for you today is that of Alicia Maher's excuse me. Alicia Maher updated us there via Facebook and Twitter yesterday of her reply from Stephen Donnelly and also Frank Feighan. You think that, you know, that this is a reply that she deserved to get in an expedient manner, but no, it took him 18 months to get around to replying to Alicia Maher regarding her concerns with access to medical cannabis here in Ireland. It's funny enough, you know, that one of them would reply, but that to have two of them reply on the very same day within hours of each other after the lady had been waiting over 18 months is absolutely ridiculous. But it is welcome to see a reply. But then you look at the reply. So I'll pop it up on screen here, guys, so you can see this yourselves. So this was the post put up by Alicia there yesterday, saying, after 13 months of emailing the Minister for Health, Stephen Donnelly, I finally received a reply. The only part that wasn't copied and pasted was the first sentence. And it says, thank you for your email concerning medical cannabis and apologies for the delay in responding to you. The rest was a complete copy, word for word from the internet, and she shares then the attached replies that she had received. Absolutely despicable. As she said, thanks for your email concerning medical cannabis and apologies for the delay in responding to you. And then all of this, the rest of it's a complete waffle, and that's exactly what it is. It's just a load of waffle. None of it actually answers the questions that Alicia had put to them, and you know, she deserves that at least an honest reply to her message. So this was the reply there. So it says, thank you for your email. And this is coming from Alicia. Unfortunately, this information is not helpful at all. As I outlined in my previous emails, I am well aware of the process in place. All of the information you have sent me is easily accessible online, which it is, word for word. As previously stated and as set out in your email, reimbursement is limited to 3 qualifying conditions, and chronic pain is not one of them. Therefore, it is absolutely pointless me emailing the HSE. My question relates directly to the Medical Cannabis Access Programme, which is not a matter for the HSE, it is a matter for the Minister for Health, Stephen Donnelly. I currently cannot be reimbursed as chronic pain is not one of the qualifying conditions. Therefore, until chronic pain is included in the Medical Cannabis Access Programme, I will be prevented from returning to Ireland. And she goes on to say that what I need to know is, has the Minister any plans to include chronic pain in the programme? Kind regards, Alicia Maher. So, like, you know, that's a very easy, straightforward question. It's not complicated. Does the Minister have any plans to include chronic pain in the programme? There is no reason at all for her to have to wait any longer than 24 hours to a reply for that message. Unfortunately, she has not got a reply. At least I'm not to my knowledge has she got a reply. Looking over on her Facebook page, which was only just recently updated yesterday at 4 o'clock, with the reply there from Minister Feighan, which is identical, absolutely identical, including the opening sentence. When you look at the opening sentence, thank you for your email concerning medical cannabis and apologies for the delay in responding to you. Like, completely impersonal. Like that's just the general response you would say. Like, you know, it wasn't personal at all. So shame on these people. And guys, make sure you get out there on the 7th of August next week down here in Cork to get out and standing up for patients like Alicia, because this is appalling, the treatment that they're receiving currently now, how they're being treated by the ministers in charge currently overseeing the Medical Cannabis Access Programme, and they're not replying at all. It's a very straightforward question. Any plans to include chronic pain? Yes or no? That's the simple answer. It's either yes or it's a no. If it's a no, then why not? What is the reasoning for not including it? Considering in places where medical cannabis is available, over 65% of those availing of medical cannabis access is for chronic pain. How? What justifies their reason to disclude it if they are going to continue to disclude it? I would very much be interested in that reply that Alicia will soon receive, hopefully. Fingers crossed, you know. I'll offer up the next bowl there to the higher powers that they might actually do what they can to help Alicia in her case. But I was out there again today, guys. Considering the response that Alicia got yesterday, I went back out into the streets of Cork and I planted some more cannabis plants myself. I'll quickly pop up the video there. I believe it's I shared it there earlier over on Twitter, so that'll be probably the easiest place for me to go find it. But boom, there it is. So I'll pop this up on screen there, guys, again for you to see. But yeah, I got down there into Cork City, planted another cannabis plant. I'll mute myself so you don't have to hear me twice. But in this video, that's pretty much what you will see is the cannabis plants planted down here in Cork City with the hashtags Bring Alicia Home, Evelyn Corrigan, and Patients for Safe Access. I think you're all well aware of who those people are, but Alicia Maher we just talked about, and Evelyn Corrigan was the pensioner, the legally blind pensioner brought before the courts recently for growing her cannabis plants to alleviate the pain and suffering caused by the conditions she was suffering with, including that of glaucoma. And again, a lot of evidence out there to support the use of cannabis for these conditions. So I will continue this campaign of civil disobedience, guys. Next week, the 7th of August, is your opportunity to join me and a bunch of other like-minded people who are going to stand up and rebel. Civil disobedience, a peaceful revolution. There is nobody going to get hurt in what we're going to do next Saturday down on at the green area by the Mardyke Walk, just before the skate park, guys. I'll pop it up on screen there just so you can see this image. Oops, sorry, that was the wrong one. Any nudge? Yeah, a welcome inclusion there in today's show. That was an image I had up previously from the Phoenix in the park. But hopefully it's going to be the same in Cork next Saturday for the... this was the one I was actually hoping to put up. But hopefully that will be what goes on down in Cork next Saturday, that the cops are going to come by, they're going to be totally sound, they're going to just be there to ensure that public health guidelines are being attained to, social distancing, and hopefully they just feck off, like, in fairness, and they won't be hassling us at all. But this is what we've seen above in the Phoenix Park, where the Gardai and cannabis consumers got on quite well. There was no interference, like there was nobody getting their pockets searched, nobody having their grinders taken off them or anything like that at all. So let's hope for the same treatment, and that's next Saturday week, actually, Saturday the 7th of August. It goes well. And it will be for patients like Alicia, Evelyn Corrigan, and many others that are out there, including, Ryan Fowler as well, hashtag Ryan's Right. But we will be out campaigning for all of these patients. So that's Saturday week, guys. Make sure that's in your diary. We drive on in other news, guys. Outside of medical cannabis access, I suppose, there is... do you want to know how your body responds to cannabis? This is a new service that's available over in the States. I don't know, is it available here in Europe yet? I have sent an inquiry, see if the guys will send me out a testing kit so I can take part. But again, I've talked about this in the past as to how your genetic profile actually predispositions you as to how cannabis will affect you. Many people are quite tolerant of cannabis and they won't get completely over the edge. But there's other people who are actually genetically predisposed to not really enjoy cannabis. And I've talked about this in the past, but now you can actually go one step further and find out. And this is what should be afforded to people. This is an educated society. We talk about people having predispositions there to schizophrenia and stuff like that. Well, here you go. This is one way in which you could actually find out if you're predisposed to experiencing the onset of schizophrenia in later life, and should you maybe stay clear of certain cannabis profiles, such as high THC. That's not to say that you can't enjoy the CBD varieties of cannabis as a person predisposed to schizophrenia or any other kind of mental health problems. But again, this is available to people now, so consumers can be better educated in the choices that they make when it comes to cannabis consumption. This is Greenway DNA, and it's a testing kit that they provide over there in the US. But they say that they go beyond the educated guess, using your DNA to provide to you a personalized CBD and THC recommendation. So this uses the genetic variations that they will find within the saliva sample that you can provide to them using the simple testing kit, much like the old 23andMe. I've gotten my genetic profile done with them and found out the interesting things there with my own profile. But it was a very simple, straightforward test. A bit of saliva into a vial, send it off. You get your results back in a couple of weeks. I'm going to see there if I can pull their thing up here online. Do I have it prepared? Greenway. No, I can't see it, so I can't show you the results. But it gives you a very specific recommendations, actually, with down to maybe within, I think it's like plus or minus like 5 or 10 milligrams of THC, and including CBD. And they even recommend as to what kind of ratios you should seek for different conditions, such as chronic pain, such as looking to treat insomnia. Shout out to Podge. What's happening, Podge? Hey. And apologies, guys, I didn't give a shout out there to everybody in the comment box at the start of the show. Apologies, I ended up just tearing straight into it today. But again, this is what a more regulated environment would look like, where consumers can be more educated and make better informed choices as to the cannabis they consume and how they can alleviate different conditions that they might be suffering with. So yeah, it's just very positive stuff there. Hopefully the guys get back to me and maybe I might be able to find out what my genetic profile is like. Maybe I might be able to even share with them the data I have from 23andMe, and I don't even have to do their test. So yeah, we'll follow up on that one more into the future. So we drive on from there, guys, and we come back to Ireland, where we get a slap of reality again. Where today there was an opinion piece launched over on the journal.ie in response to the old age pensioner who was caught with cannabis. She was looking to treat, again, Evelyn Corrigan, who I included in the hashtags there earlier in the civil disobedience action in Cork. But this is an opinion piece that is from the two doctors in Dublin, Dr. Keane and Dr. Ian. But that's Dr. Ian Keane, Conover, and he's an assistant professor in criminal justice at Maynooth University Department of Law. So not the doctor you might be thinking of in dealing with your health, but is a person who's acquired through academic pursuits a doctorate. And also then his companion there, Dr. Ian D. Marder, who's an assistant professor in criminology, also at Maynooth University Department of Law. So two very educated individuals here coming out, offering their opinion that it was wrong to prosecute a 68-year-old Dublin woman for growing cannabis. This is featured over in the journal.ie, guys, if you want to go over and give it a read. But the guys, they do give very valid opinions and very much echoes some of the stuff that I've said myself on the podcast when exploring this. But, it's very welcoming to see these individuals now stepping out and joining this conversation and pushing the pressure back on the policymakers to say, hey, come here. This is wrong. This is a waste of resources. This woman should not have been treated like a criminal and dragged through the courts for over 4 years, causing undue stress and harm upon the woman. At any point, at her vulnerable age, she could have succumbed to that stress and pressure, really. So do get over there and check out that opinion piece, guys, if you haven't already done so. I have shared it on the different social media outlets, but it is worthwhile reading through it. It's quite a long article, so I'm not going to go through and read it all. But I will say that it is very worthwhile going over and reading it. So this is the case of Evelyn Corrigan, guys, again, putting the pressure back on the policymakers to come out and change this, because the way in which we are treating people, it's wrong, and the public want to see change. We're fed up of seeing headlines like this. Good people being dragged through the courts, patients who are only looking to alleviate their suffering. So again, very welcoming to see the opinions there of Dr. Keane and Dr. Ian from Maynooth University at the Criminal Department. So well done, guys. Thanks very much for speaking out. And guys, make sure you get over there to the journal and give it a share. That's the opinion piece. I think I can pop it up on screen there. Yeah, there it is. That's the journal.ie. So get over there, give it a read, give it a share, and get it out there. So we drive on from there, guys, because another patient before the courts here in Ireland, again, another court case for Dr. Keane and Dr. Ian to come out and maybe possibly support. This is a man before the courts who it's said to have self-medicated with cannabis after suffering a serious back injury. So again, this is ridiculous here. We find a man who suffered a serious back injury while working and have to self-medicate with cannabis, was found in possession of €350 worth of cannabis after the Gardai stopped and searched his car on the M50. And this is the case of Alan Moynihan, who's 29 years of age. Again, a man suffering with pain, a condition excluded from the Medical Cannabis Access Programme. So it isn't any wonder the poor Alan has to then go and seek illegal sources of the product that's going to alleviate some of his suffering. So Alan found himself in front of Judge Marion Walsh, who ordered Moynihan to donate 500 of his hard-earned wages, €500. Like that's not a small sum of money of a man who was working, it says here, in a warehouse when he suffered the back injury. So possibly maybe just working above minimum wage or something like that. Like maybe like €500 or €600 is the weekly income for this man, and now he has to donate it because of the failure of policymakers, and he has to donate to Blanchardstown Hospice. Again, another establishment that could benefit from a regulated cannabis access here in Ireland, because many people in hospices have to receive morphine, the box as it's called. How many people would opt maybe for high strength cannabis to alleviate their pain and suffering at the final hours of their life, as opposed to being completely out of it on morphine? And a lot of people actually succumbing then in the final hours of their life to the morphine box rather than the condition which they're suffering at. Absolutely ridiculous. Like €500 of his hard-earned cash going towards this. Again, it's a worthwhile cause, but again, you know, in saying that, like, you look at how this cause could benefit from cannabis access. If we want to give this service more money, should we not do it through regulating access to cannabis and saying, hey, look, a small portion of proceeds from the income of sale of cannabis to adults in Ireland is going to go towards the many hospices across Ireland in order to provide better access to all the affordable medicines, including cannabis there in the regimen treatments for the patients, you know. Absolutely ridiculous. Not to mention the fact that the judge, the solicitors, the Gardai, and all of the resources there that are wasted to bring this man to justice. Like, is justice being served here, guys? Is it really? Like, you know, is Alan Moynihan a criminal? He's not. Like, he is not. Like, if again, you have to believe the man. Like, I've no reason to believe the guy is lying, and that he had that cannabis to deal with back pain. I've met many people. I've sold cannabis to people, guys, who has suffered with the same thing. One man, a painter, can't sit and paint without the pain, without the pain in his back flaring up, and cannabis help alleviates that. And he doesn't want to have to go and receive or to take some of the other medications that are there because of the effects of those medications and how ineffective they are compared to cannabis, a simple natural herb given to us if you're religious by God. So, you know, who is this judge? Who is our government to deny us access to what is God given? Absolutely ridiculous. So, you know, Alan, if you're out there, bud, if anybody knows Alan there, you got my full support, man. If you want to come on here and share your experiences, your story after all of this, I think it's absolutely ridiculous how you've been treated before the courts. You're driving an old Nissan Micra there as well. Like, do you believe that they profiled you, like, just because of the car? I don't know. Like, well, I'm thinking of a Nissan Micra actually from the delivery drivers, the old banger ones, €300 cars, like, much like my own car when I was delivering too. You definitely get kind of profiled there because of your choice of car. But the court heard that Moynihan has never been in trouble before with the cops, like, so that's kind of why I'm saying, do you feel like you were being profiled there? Was it the area you were in? Was it the clothes you were wearing at the time? Absolutely ridiculous. But it says here that the defendant had also suffered with anxiety and Crohn's disease in the past, and he was on disability, but his back injury was getting better and he was nearly able to get back to work. So were you not using cannabis also maybe there for the Crohn's disease? Because I know of many people who benefit greatly from access to cannabis with the Crohn's disease there too. So again, I'm very much interested in hearing from you, Alan. If anybody knows Alan, gets the old shout out there to him, get in touch, bud, and we'll have an old conversation. But the again here, as it says, the Judge Walsh said she would give Moynihan a chance and leave him without a conviction if he made a donation to charity. That's a threat, like. That's straight up extortion, like. If the judge agrees that what the man was doing wasn't wrong, she should strike out the case and leave the man go back and actually lambast the policymakers who keep bringing patients before her. Because it's the policymakers' fault. It's not the guard's fault, you know, it's not the judge's fault. They kind of have to do their job, but at the same time, call this BS out when it's before you, will you? And stop extorting money out of people for your bloody charity boxes. What's the story with these charity boxes? Why do they want to swell them so much? Fill them with cash. Like, is their buddies there up on the board of the hospice that he's donating the money to? Like, well, what's the crack there, Judge Walsh? But anyway, guys, we drive on, and Russell Banta, what are you doing, Russell? You madman. 50 buckaroos, dude. I only just seen this coming in there after I'm coming off the thing. Dude, you're loony. Absolutely, really appreciate that support, man. Again, thanks very much, dude. He says, let's donate and fund Martin's botanical interest, boys and girls. How big are your balls, Martin? Keep planting. Mad respect. Just take a second to appreciate how much you've helped me since I started listening to you over a year ago. And thanks very much for that, Russell. Really appreciate those very kind words. And it's very welcoming as well to hear how the show is benefiting yourself and many others out there like so Russell, legend. We will definitely appreciate that in the search for the venue in order to get you in, and we can team up and again together fight this and put out some really kick-ass content as well in the process, because you've shared with me some great ideas as well, Russell. So I hope we can bring those to fruition as well, and again, just keep on feeding this great community that's out there with some great content, because I know you all appreciate it. So again, appreciate all of the comments coming in and the support there of the show, guys, throughout. To the people who've shared it there as well. Irish, nice one there. Irish is always supporting the cause over on Twitch. Hard audience to bust into, but nonetheless, YouTube doing us proud today. 42 of you over there right now, and 9 of you beautiful people over there on Facebook as well. So much appreciated, guys, for all your support of the show and for sharing and liking and all of that beautiful stuff that you do as well. Mistawes, legend as always as well, saying keep her lit, everybody, and throwing 420 there as well via the link in the description, guys, the support the stream link there in the description. So much appreciated there. And I see Casa the Stroga sitting out there as well. What's going on, Casa? How you're doing? Good. Saying, hey Russell, I listened to your interview on Martin's World recently and really hope you get access and reimbursed. So to update people as well, if you didn't hear it, the call in the other day with Russell, Russell has put in an application now through the consultant that he's dealing with. So the ball is rolling with that. So fingers crossed here for Russell that he gets approval and is able to successfully put forward a case for reimbursement also. Because his condition is outside of the 3 qualifying conditions, but we still will be optimistic that they will reimburse Russell, so he doesn't have to pay that extortionate bloody money. What is it, like 500 quid a month, I believe it is for Russell's, and that's if it's effective at that dose. It could go up should he require higher dosages, but yeah, do check out the interview with Russell. It's a live one that we did over on YouTube, but I should actually get I don't know if I did actually put up a copy over on Spotify and stuff as well, so you should be able to find an audio version of that there too. Hype, legend. I see Hype there as well, throwing in to the show there today. Young Jamie, the sugar daddy. Legend, guys. Each and every one of you, absolute legends. Thanks very much, guys, for supporting this show. Let's put the fingers crossed there as well that we can get this Cannabis Activist Hub up and running, so we can mingle there in person as well and get all the good people in under the one roof. So we drive on, guys, from there, because we've some positive news, and that's in line maybe with Russell's news there as well, is that in Dundalk, and this is a case that I brought up before of Deborah Downey, whose daughter Abigail, she was looking for access to cannabis for it to be reimbursed. They had successfully obtained the license, but they hadn't received reimbursement up until now. So this is under the new Medical Cannabis Access Program now. So I don't know, is this actually saying that Deborah Downey and her daughter Abigail are the first to actually avail of reimbursement under the Medical Cannabis Access Program? So does that mean it's actually up and running? The fucking train has finally left the station, like, albeit on a very slow creep. It's very welcoming news. Let's hope that more and more people will be able to come forward and say, hey, I've gotten access to medical cannabis under the Medical Cannabis Access Programme. And let's hope that they include a wider range of products, because I believe Abigail is currently using the Epidiolex, which is the CBD product from GW Pharmaceuticals, recently sold, might I add, to Jazz Pharmaceuticals. Was it for a fucking ground-shaking $9 billion? I believe it was dollars that it was sold for, but 9 billion I think it was. Like, again, fact check me on that one, I could be wrong, but it was a ground shaking number. Like, you know, any number over $1 billion is fucking ground shaking. But this story update says Abigail's family had been paying over €600 per month for the treatment through the chemist in Newry, but the family is now facing a bill of up to €4,000 up front for the 3-month supply from The Hague after issues with Brexit. But that's no longer a problem after they were contacted by the HSE to say that a new scheme is in place that means she will no longer have to find the cash to pay for the treatment from The Hague. Under the new scheme, the HSE will pay the medical cannabis provider directly, leaving the family without the stress of having to come up with the money. So I'll actually correct myself here in that they aren't receiving Epidiolex. That's what they were receiving before with the €600 per month through the Nori chemist. But since they've now switched over to The Hague, which would leave me to believe that they're receiving the Bedrocan products, very similar to Ava Toomey here in Cork, Vera's daughter. I believe that's what they would be receiving. So correct myself on the medication here. This is a Bedrocan product again, which is a high THC product, I would believe, at least a higher than what is available under the Medical Cannabis Access Programme. So this is probably a new scheme outside of the Medical Cannabis Access Programme, the one that Vera Toomey fought tooth and nail for. So this is something separate. So very interesting there. All right. Abigail's mother, Deborah Downey, contacted the constituency office of Deputy O'Muraku, and he had this to say that in December when she contacted him, and since then that they have been working to try and get resolution for the family, and he's raised this directly with the ministers for Adker and Donnelly in March, and had numerous contacts with the Minister for Health's department subsequently, but progress was very slow. And why? Why is it very slow? I don't understand this. Like, please provide a reason for this fucking inadequate work ethic that they have up there for these patients. But Amarku went on to say that the system was much too complicated for people to navigate. But Abigail has been in receipt of the ministerial approved medical cannabis for almost a year for the Lennox-Gastaut syndrome. Again, another form of epilepsy. The burden of which of having to pay for the life-enhancing treatment for her was weighing heavily on the family. Under the new scheme, the medical cannabis for Abigail will be supplied to her without the cumbersome system of the family paying first and the reimbursements taking months to come through. The HSE will pay for the medicine. Will pay the medicine supplier directly. This is a really good news for Abigail's family, who tell me that she has now gone more than 70 days without a seizure, guys. 70 days without a seizure. Wow, absolutely crazy. Like there's an elephant in the room that's not being talked about here. That while the money is being paid for, like, they think the savings the state is making, not having to deal with the multiple seizures that Abigail and Ava and all of the other kids now who are our patients, you know, not just kids, because adults alike now should be afforded access to medical cannabis to reduce the numbers of seizures they would be experiencing, and therefore it can reduce the pressure on the health service, which at the moment is very relevant in saying is at its limits again. They can't even deal now with the current influx of patients at the A&E. So overcrowding again is becoming a problem in Irish hospitals. So is it not time we start putting in place policies that will reduce the pressure on these services? and allow patients of access to more effective medicines. Again, just to bring up the other patient, Ryan Fowler, who I mentioned there, hashtag Ryan's Right. He used to have to visit the hospitals regularly to receive pain management before he got access to cannabis. Now with access to cannabis, he's not having to go to hospitals for that pain management treatment. Let's hope Russell out there will be another one of these people that once he has access to cannabis, that he probably doesn't need any more therapies from the pain management consultants and stuff that, look, hey, this is working for you, and unless he has to go in for maybe a surgery or some other life-changing treatment so that he's not suffering with the pain, you know, maybe there's like a nerve implant that we develop in a couple of years that can just like literally, they can like log into it, like, I don't know, your man Elon Musk there and that Neuralink that he's developing, like, who knows, like maybe there's like some technology that's going to come down the road that's just going to completely change how we treat chronic pain for people. But until then, cannabis is a fucking great alternative, you know, until we have these kind of really epic technologies. But yeah, you know, that's just thinking a lot further down the road. So again, very welcoming news. Delighted to hear that there's patients now going to be others outside of Vera is receiving the reimbursement. And again, as I say, hopefully Russell, you will be added to that list as well here soon on the 420 News, bud. Again, shout out there to Russell. Good man, dude. Come on, like. Nice one, dude. You're a legend. He says, keep donating, everybody. Thanks very much for that, Russell. Really appreciate your support. And also Skatanis there as well, getting in on the festivities today, guys. Go keep the train going, young Jamie, my man. Legends, guys. Absolutely epic stuff. I honestly, I'm blown away by that support there today. Again, I will accumulate that with the rest of the support that's after coming in over the year, and hopefully it might get us maybe 3 months of a hub anyway, and once that's up and running, maybe it will become a self-perpetuating hub then, in that we can introduce maybe a cafe or something like that. We'll have it run by the members for the members. Sounds like something anyway that we can make happen. But guys, I love the support, honestly. Like, you're really going to help make a dream come true here someday very soon. Going to blaze up the next bowl for you guys. So the next act of civil disobedience there is to all you beautiful people who supported the show today, either financially by liking it, sharing it, and just, you know, commenting there as well. Really blown away, guys, by the support that the show gets all the time. So to each and every one of you guys, Schlein, the cotton mouth there is getting serious. Gonna have to hydrate after this one. Oh, that was extra tasty. Lovely. Nice. Chrissy Connell saying we need protest about weed. Definitely, Chris. 7th of August, buddy, and first of August above in Dublin on Marion Square, guys. So shout out to Antoine, the medical Cannabis for Ireland, I believe, is the name of the group he's operating under. He's organising a protest above there in Dublin on Marion Square. I believe it's at 2 o'clock. I can't share the event because I can't find it over on Facebook. I was trying to find the event there over on Facebook so I can pop it up on screen for you guys to find it. But I'll try to find it and share it there again so you might be able to find it afterwards. But that's another protest going on above there in Dublin on Sunday, I believe it is, the 1st. It's a long weekend, guys, this weekend. So yeah, the 1st is the Sunday. So if you're above there in Dublin, get on down to Marion Square for another day of protest for cannabis reform in Ireland. Ooh. Russell Banter, the donate train, 500 to 900 lads. You're a legend, man. Right, we drive on, guys, with the 420 news today because we'll have to get through it. There was 17,300 euro and €300 worth of cannabis seized above in at Donegal. Donegal, where they don't even have an undercover fucking cop car apparently for the drug squad. But they were still able to find this. So this was under, you guessed it, Operation Tara. And this seizure was made following the search of a house in a Ramelton area of Donegal yesterday. And this was after 12:30 actually on Wednesday. When the members of the Milford District Drugs Unit carried out a search of a property at Pound Street in Ramelton. During the course of the search, they found €17,300 worth of suspected cannabis herb, along with a small number of cannabis plants and other drug paraphernalia. All of the items seized will be sent for forensic analysis, and a man in his 50s was arrested in connection with the seizure on Wednesday. He's since been released without charge, and a file has been prepared for the DPP. And the seizure forms part of, as I said, Operation Tara, an enhanced national anti-drug strategy which was launched by the Gardai. Blah, 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 blah. A lot of propagandist BS, because it's very unfortunate. What you see here, for sure, is a personal supply of cannabis. Well, you would think it's a lot. That is for sure a personal supply of cannabis. If they found what they're saying is a small number of cannabis plants, and this guy in his 50s was growing it for himself, and he just kept on growing. Like, what you could have here is like two or three jars of White Widow, 2 or 3 jars of Silver Haze, 2 or 3 jars of wedding cake. Just consistent harvests, because the guy was just growing away, and he was trying to find what was good for to himself, but he didn't want to dispose of what he had again beforehand. There's very much a case that this could have been a personal amount of cannabis, that a person who just enjoyed growing cannabis and having access to jars like that made up of different varieties. Again, you've the case of Evelyn Corrigan, who last week was given up to the cops for mixing up her buds and her leaves, because she was passionate about it. She enjoyed it, she didn't mean to have so much. Maybe that's the case here. The 50-year-old, he was like, geez, I thought I was only growing 3 or 4 plants. I didn't think that the cops were ever going to raid me. And yeah, feck it, who knew it? I ended up having almost 750 grams of cannabis, going by the value given here, 20 quid a gram, just under 750 grams, quite possibly, I would definitely say this is a personal grow, maybe a guy growing it for his own ailing condition, given the age of the guy in his 50s. Aging is one of the worst diseases the human body is afflicted with. None of us are going to escape it, sadly, guys. Yes, we are going to die, all of us, of aging, hopefully. The lucky ones, hopefully that's how we will all die peacefully in our sleep of age-related disease. But cannabis is great for mitigating those conditions that afflict us because of the aging process. Mainly because cannabis helps with reducing stress, anxiety, it reduces inflammation, it can be neuroprotective. The list goes on, guys, but don't take my word for it. Go out there, the research is there, there's evidence there to back up all of what I'm saying. If you're the individual caught up in this, if you're the 50-year-old above there in Donegal, and if you want to come on and back up what I'm saying here, if this was a personal grow, if you had just had a couple of successful harvests, maybe you just started growing a year or so ago and you just didn't want to stop, you grew 3 plants and you just this is decent, you got fucking 12 ounces off your 3 plants and you just wanted to grow another 3 plants and another 3 plants, and it's am I right? I definitely think that it's right, was the guy supplying it? Who cares if he was, if he was, at least he's not some sort of organised crime gang, he was just some 50-year-old dude in the community and he was looking after a couple of buddies, which was quite possibly the case, not enough buddies, because, he ended up getting caught with so much of it in the end, because he wasn't able to go through it. But yeah, definitely a case for personal hair, and again, if you're out there, if you're hearing this, if you know who it is, get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to be able to feature you on as a guest in the show, and I'm sure you lovely guys out there would love to hear the conversation too. Get in touch, martinsworldpodcast@gmail.com. And to anybody out there, guys, if you'd like to share your experiences at the hands of the law, at the the whole process going through the courts, if you're currently going through the courts, get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to have you on, and not anonymously. I'd prefer to be able to get you on like as who you are, that stand up loud and proud and share it. But I can facilitate for anonymous interviews as well if needed. But I would prefer to do it where you just kind of step up and say it. But look, get in touch either way. Anyway, we'll facilitate everyone's needs as best as I can. We drive on from there, guys. So we go from Donegal to Terenure in Dublin. We're in Terenure in Dublin. What the Gardai seemed seized what looks like to me. I don't know what you think this looks like, but I thought it was like a load of pepperoni slices. That's what I thought it was. Like, and looking at it, I'm like, what do do raid a fucking pizza shop, like, and think they got a load of pills. But yeah, that's a lot of ecstasy pills above in Dublin. Absolutely ridiculous. That was seized with alongside of some cannabis plants as well. But what a waste of time. And an opportunity there to reduce harm would be to test these drugs now to see what they actually contain, and to put that money or put that information out there to consumers. Because I actually got messages from people there recently. And I'm just going to quickly go over to them, but there's dodgy pills going around the gaff, guys. Apparently, there's dodgy D12 or D10 pill, D12. Hey, I climbed so many mountains. But D10 pills, I believe it is, or is it ecstasy pills that are actually D10s? Sorry, no, I'm just going to quickly get up the message there so I can see what was actually said in it. But yeah, just to put that one out there, you know, that stuff still goes on. Where is that message? No, I'm not finding it there, but yeah, that's definitely a thing. I'm going to try to follow up with that. I should have had it prepared, but I only just got reminded of the message. I was bloody reading it while I was out planting the cannabis plant earlier today. So it just eluded my mind when setting up on the show. But again, like this stuff should have been tested. Is Hype saying what's that? Blues, the Azepam? Is that the ones that were being found? But yeah, like just be careful, guys. You know what I mean? Test your pills. Definitely, like test your stash before you take this stuff. Like, you know, there's dodgy when you're dealing with these pills, like, because you just don't know who's pressing them. Anybody can get their hands on a pill press. A pill press is fucking easy to come by. And once you have one, you can just start pressing your own pills then. And sure, like, if you're the dude who's just in it to make money, you just don't care what you're going to offload quite often or not. Like, you know what I mean? You're probably fucking better off if it was pepperoni that you got in a bag, like, rather than some of the dodgy stuff that there can be out there inside in these pills. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, when again, it's ridiculous that this stuff, once it gets tested, the FSI, as we found out the other day with the synthetic cannabis, they're not going to release any information that can reduce harm in society. This stuff should be tested like as quick as they can, and should be saying, hey, look, this recent batch of drugs that we tested was this amount pure, had this many contaminants in there, these were the contaminants. If you're on X, Y, and Z medication, guys, be careful, because look, these pills would have fucking interacted because of this contaminant in there. You know what I mean? Like, why aren't they doing this stuff? Like, it's almost like my interaction with Maliki there a while ago is like, well, if they take the drugs, look, we'll make it risky for them, and if they die, that's their own fault. Like, do you know what I mean? That's the mentality of Maliki, and that was the conversation over on the Adrian Kenny show earlier today. Absolutely ridiculous mentality, like, you know, that they want to perpetuate this risk, exponentially increase it for the drug user in order to deter them from drug use. Like, this is someone's son or daughter, and quite often or not, it's the females who fall foul to this with pills, much as being the cases in Ireland anyway, and that's shown in science as well, that it's females are known to have this genetic predisposition to be more sensitive to the MDMA compound, so therefore, you know, a little is a lot to some of these women, and it's known to be more present in women as well. Again, fact check me on that, guys. I'm going back to like 3 or 4 years ago when I was in SSDP and CIT, and that was a study that I was reading and looking into. Again, you know, reinforcing what we were saying earlier with the cannabis, even, like, you know, the way forward is education, and genetic testing like can afford us much fucking potential for harm reduction in the drug using community out there. Many people are predisposed to alcohol sensitivity, guys. That's a genetic predisposition, like that, that's genetics. This is there before us. Like, education is key when it comes to harm reduction in drug consumption. So we drive on, guys, from there. Because, while all of these drugs are being seized and all of this kind of stuff going on here in Ireland, we're wasting all of this money. Well, others outside of Ireland, such as big tobacco. These guys featured on the news before again, but they're back in the news again after more recently commenting that cannabis is part of the future. And this is coming from British American Tobacco, or BAT for short. But yeah, British American Tobacco again, giving the nod to cannabis, that it is going to be there for the stay within their portfolio as they try to expand into what they say a healthier range of products. They are benefiting recently as switching over to with more people switching over from smoking tobacco products into vaping tobacco products. But now they're looking to get in on the market around cannabis. And this is something for all of us to get fucking aware of here today, guys, because we do not want the policy that is going to be driven from the top down. We need it driven from the bottom up, because otherwise we're going to all lose out. We're going to be the customer of big tobacco and all of those others out there looking. And that's not the worst of things, to be honest. Like, it's better than being criminalized, but at the same time, why should me or you, as a consumer, as a person on the ground, a campaigner, be blocked out of the market because we can't compete with the big money that's actually out there, that we would be up against. So this policy needs to be driven from the ground up. And that's a part of the mission of this show, is to unite us all, guys, because this is going to be, it's a change, it is a coming, guys. And if we all unite, if we all get behind this cannabis reform Ireland together and push relentlessly, like, I'm not saying once a year get out there for protests, like, but we have Sunday now again, we have Saturday. Shout out to the guys down at the Kerry Cannabis Club as well. They're organising an event for the 21st of August down in Killarney. Momentum is building, guys. We have them now, like, we just have to keep it up. Anybody out there in Galway going to get an event up and running, shout out to little Collins, who I was chatting to later or earlier on today, and who've also donated a prize there to the raffle. But maybe they might get something going above there in Galway for their own picnic in the park. I'm looking forward to an announcement from the major guys as well. Hopefully they'll have an announcement for us very soon as to what they're doing in September. But I do know that they're organising something. I don't know, is it the Phoenix Park again, or are they bringing it from there to somewhere else? But I do look forward to it. Let's keep this going, like, because we do not want these guys dictating the policies. If they are, it's not going to be what we want. Like, we will not have a right to grow our own cannabis at home, because that won't look good at the end of the year for these guys in their accounts. For them guys to make the most money, it's going to have to be, no, you need to prohibit the growing of cannabis. You're not allowed to grow cannabis. Limited possession as well, the amount people can have, and all of this stuff, it's not going to reflect what we want. So we need to unite, guys. We need to get behind this. It's ever more than ever now needed that we all come out of the cannabis closet, guys, and push for change. Once the government come back in September, guys, we need to be united, and a big message sent, a big picnic right outside, whether it's the convention centre or the Dáil. But let's do it. Like, let's occupy it for like 4 days, 4.2 days or something. Like, who knows? Let's come up with something anyway. Like, let's keep this pressure on. And I'm certainly going to be making efforts for that anyway. I know I will. I know some of you are there agreeing as well. So true. Have a look at this, and people ask why they do horrible things because you have been deemed to agree with it. And Kevin Hackett's sharing a link over there on the Facebook stream. And Chris Connolly saying trying to get off smokes is all the addiction in tobacco off weed, 2 weeks and need my weed. Yeah, but definitely I know once I gave up tobacco that the cravings were not the same. I would compare it much like kind of coffee, at this stage, like that cannabis is just a tool that I utilize. And it's not something that I would consume all the time like I did when I was smoking tobacco with it. And when I was smoking tobacco, I would like fucking, smoke straight away first thing in the morning and right throughout the day, always just rolling joint after joint. Be nearly lighting one with the other with the tobacco, but like once since I switched over to the bong and stuff, like I'll have three bowls here on the show with yourselves, and fucking I might not hit the bowl again like until maybe tomorrow. Sometimes just depending on what's in the bowl, like but quite often or not, like I might not have another bowl until the very next day after doing some of these 420 streams. I'll go off, teach a class, I'll go for runs, walk the dogs, and get stuff done. I'm very productive. And yeah, don't smoke as much as I did when I did with tobacco, that's for sure. Casada Strugas, what time is Sunday's event? Sunday's event, I believe, is 2 o'clock, but don't hold me to that, guys. I'm going to find a link to it there later on and try to share it. I don't have any links to it. I only found out about it about a week or so ago. I wasn't even aware that it was properly happening, but it's definitely happening anyway, above there on Merrion Square, Sunday, believe 2 o'clock, but I could be wrong on that. But 2 o'clock is when I'm going to try to aim to be there at myself anyway. So we drive on there, guys. We go to the next one in Scotland, where in Scotland, guys, some sad news to report that the drug deaths in Scotland have soared to record levels, according to statistics gathered by the National Records of Scotland. This is a tweet that they've put up there on their Twitter, where it says that new figures released today by the National Record Scotland show there was 1,339 drug-related deaths in 2020, a 5% increase on the previous year and the largest number ever recorded. Again, I probably should have had this typed out to correct this, but a correction on that should be new figures released today by the NRS showed that there was 1,339 needless drug-related deaths in 2020, because again you've been shown that in places where supervised and direction centres have been introduced and more liberal approaches are taken to drug consumption, overdoses are like pretty much almost non-existent. A compassionate service where education and providing harm reduction information partnered with a safe supply of drugs too. There's not too many places that offer that, but with that you could surely bring that number down to next or near zero for the drug related deaths. So sad to see, and I'd have to give a shout out there while we're talking about Scotland to some of the activists on the ground over there, such as Katie McLeod over at the Chill Welfare Group. Great bunch of activists over there looking to again reduce the harm of drugs in Scottish society. I believe Katie's also involved with the Scottish Drugs Forum over there as well. And I hope to get over there and work with them again soon at Creamfields, providing the drug welfare over there. But again, it's unfortunate that activists, campaigners such as Katie have to work against the problems caused by prohibition. A lot of the problems that they see, again, Creamfields, was it 2 years ago, Casada Strugas, I believe you were there with me, but yeah, at Creamfields, when we had like over 50 people come into us in a 24-hour period, all related to a synthetic drug being passed off as ecstasy at the Creamfields Festival. It created havoc for us. I was dealing with one guy for about 4 or 5 hours who thought, like, they show him that like people didn't have knives inside the tent. He was completely out of it in a sense that he didn't realize like that he was in a safe environment. He felt like there was people out to get him, trying to stab him, murder him and stuff, like, and so many people experiencing the same very heightened paranoia. The drug got tested afterwards and it was a synthetic drug. So look forward to working with Katie and again very soon over there, and to witness hopefully again the loop. I hope to see the loop over there, the drug testing services there again, to lessen this risk for drug users, and to not be a part of these statistics as well. over in the UK, you know, because again, every effort to reduce the harm could potentially save a life. And why is this not being afforded to drug users? Why are we leaving them at the mercy of the drug organized drug gangs and the dangers there of the unregulated drug sources? You know, at least provide them safe and effective services such as the Loop, where people can just walk in, say, here's my drug, this is a little piece of my pill. They don't even have to give them all of the pill, a little piece of the pill, and they can test it and say, well, that's, look, fucking 50% ecstasy, but the other 30% is like some cement or something like that. That was found in Boomtown, I think it was. They found like cement, they found washing powder, they found all sorts of samples there. In Boomtown through this drug testing services, again, like, you know, reducing harm, saving lives. Also, Chris Krent, I believe is how you pronounce his name, another Scottish campaigner, activist, went out there ballsy, broke the law, and provided a mobile supervised drug injection service. Another inspirational man who I take a lot of motivation from. You know, he's out there pressing on, providing the services needed to reduce the harms caused by the prohibition of drugs. Putting his head in the chopping block effectively, you know, because what he was doing, he was breaking the law by providing the service, but he done it anyway nonetheless because it was needed to save lives. So Chris, I believe it's Chris Krent, so I'll quickly find Chris there over on Twitter, Poppy's Poppy's page up, just so you can see him, because he's a very worthwhile guy following. Sorry, no, just looking for the spelling of the guy's name. They actually have a journal documentary of him as well. So I'm actually just going to pop this up on screen here for you to see this. So this is the article to go find, guys, and go check out this video down underneath it. Scottish drugs death crisis, saving lives with an illegal injection van. You'll find that over on YouTube. Also, if you want to go find it there over on YouTube. But it's very worthwhile. Peter, or sorry, did I say Chris? No wonder I couldn't find him on Twitter. Peter Feighan is his name. So I'll get him up there. Look, I was looking for Chris. Peter Feighan. There we go. There's Peter down below. So definitely a very worthwhile guy following over there, doing tremendous work. I'll actually follow him there now myself. But I was following another page that he has, the Scottish drug injection van, that's up there as well. But a very worthwhile 12 minutes this video is, so definitely get over there and check it out, so you can also be inspired and motivated by the great Peter Feighan. So again, apologies there for saying Chris. Peter. Fucking stoners, huh? Sorry, guys. Fucking I should be on the ball. I should have this stuff prepared, but that was off the cuff. I didn't even plan actually on bringing them up, but I think it was very worthwhile and mentioning Katie and Peter, because they're two very worthwhile campaigners to follow. I'll quickly pop up Chill Welfare as well, just so you can see that service. This is their Twitter page. So boom, there's Chill Welfare, wonderful welfare. Oh look, and actually in their banner photo, look at, and there's Casa de Sturgas as well. And Katie is the beautiful lady with the red dreadlocks. Yeah, we have a great bunch of people over there. Like the tent behind us is where people came when they were experiencing what we regarded as a kind of a crisis. They needed a bit of an intervention, you know, and it could be simply just sitting a person down, providing them with a safe space to maybe just sleep off the effects of alcohol, or to maybe just have a friendly person to just talk with until the effects of whatever drugs they're experiencing wear off. All of these people coming were volunteers, they would understand the effects of drugs. Many of them actually were maybe people coming out of addiction services themselves, and wanted to just say to reduce the harm of drugs by volunteering their time. So a great bunch of people. So get over there, guys. Give them a follow at Chill Welfare over on Twitter. You'll find them on Facebook as well, and I think they're also up on Instagram too. They also have a website there, chillwelfare.org, .co.uk actually, sorry. So check that out there as well if you want to learn more about them. People can volunteer with them as well if you're over there in the UK, guys, and you want to volunteer with them. A great group to get involved with. They go to a number of festivals around the UK, provide drug welfare services, as I described there recently. But there's nurses there with them as well. I think they have a preference to get in as many people from the health the background, but they're very welcoming to the people who have experiences with drugs and who can understand what a person would be going through when maybe had a bit too much at a festival and it's all getting too intense, you know. They provide some great training opportunities there as well through them. So great bunch of people. Like really loved my time with them anyway. Definitely left its mark. Oh shit, sorry, I should have got that picture down off of the screen, guys. Apologies there. Boom, that's off the screen. We'll go back over there to Twitter so you can see that Chill Welfare page in its entirety. And there's that photo that I was talking about in its entirety too, because I believe Katie would have been blocked out by the photo that I had up on the screen there. So apologies for that. Only seen it there once I went back to the Streamlabs application. But there's Katie, as I said, the lady in the with the red dreadlocks, Declan, Grams, myself. I can't remember some of the rest of the names. We've Katie here with the pride hat. So amazing bunch of people. There's Fergal as well, another Irish volunteer at the end. The bottom left of the photo over here, where I don't know if you can see the mouse cursor. But the W that we're doing as well is for wonderful welfare. That was the hashtag we were using. So do get over and give them a follow there, guys. Cassidus Dragas, as he's saying there, Peter Crickhand is an inspiration to the community. 100% an inspiration, guys. That 12-minute video is really worthwhile watching. And if you're a health service provider out there, if you're a nurse yourself, and if you would like to try to get something like that up and running, I would love to do whatever I can to help you, and I would gladly volunteer my time as well to see that happening, because I would love to see these supervised mobile supervised injection centres up and running now in response to the fucking can kicking that's going on there by the government currently, because it's costing us lives. Like while they're can kicking, they're effectively like costing us lives, like, and they've no shame in doing it either, you know. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, a drug user is a human being and he deserves to be respected and afforded the opportunity of life just like any other drug user. And to not provide people who inject their drugs safe spaces and the services, the education in which how to do it, you know, we're failing them. Like, you know, we're so fucking we're really inhumane in that approach. Like, your man again, like Maliki, and that the show a while ago, like, we need to be harder on them, we need to be tougher on them. And I was like, Malik, how far do you want to go? Like, do we want to kill the drug users? Like, you know, if you get caught with drugs 3 times, like, is it the death sentence? Like, you know, how tough do you want to be? Like, because we already have countries that give people the death sentence for engaging in drug trafficking and dealing and stuff like that. Like, is that how far we want to go? Like, but that still doesn't deter people from doing it. It just puts the price up in reality. Like, but absolutely ridiculous. Like. Guys, just to finish off then, guys, the final headline I want to get through with you today, guys, and I want to finish on a bit more of a positive note. There is a study, so to continue the flow of positive studies there to coming out that are countering the myths around cannabis. I believe last week it was around cannabis causing impairment upon cognitive development of the adolescents and stuff like that. This one is coming out again, disproving some of the myths around cannabis causing people to be undermotivated, to lack motivation. So this is a study over on the journal, so I'll just pop up the photo there so you can see this yourselves. but this was the Journal of International Neurophysiological Society, and it's titled Evidence Lacking for Cannabis Users Slacking, a longitudinal analysis of escalating cannabis use and motivation among adolescents. So you can search that one up there and you'll find it over on, as I said, that journal. But this study was carried out in the Florida International University, and it assessed the associations between cannabis use and motivation in a cohort of 401 adolescents aged 14 to 17 over 2 years. So again, like always with studies, more evidence needed to support the conclusion of the study. But nonetheless, the evidence speaks for itself. The authors reported that adolescents' cannabis use was not associated with any significant changes in motivation, apathy, or engagement after investigators controlled for subjects' use of alcohol and tobacco among other potential confounders such as age, sex, and depression. They reported significant increases in level of cannabis use in the sample, and change in cannabis use did not predict changes in motivation, which should suggest that cannabis use may not lead to reductions in motivation over time. The study's authors concluded our findings do not support the relationship between cannabis use and reductions in motivation over time in a sample of adolescents at risk for escalation in cannabis use. The current study contributes to the extent literature by examining these associations longitudinally in a large sample of adolescents cannabis users while controlling for important and often overlooked confounds, including sex and depression. Future studies should continue to examine these associations longitudinally to determine whether heavier levels of cannabis use lead to reductions in motivation and whether these reductions may be responsible for poorer educational and later life outcomes. So that was the conclusion of the study there. Again, more evidence needed, but they did not find an association there between cannabis use and motivation in adolescents. Again, debunking some of the myths that cannabis is going to make you lazy and want to stay at home and. Cannabis doesn't make you want to do that. Quite often and honest, the fact that cannabis is illegal that makes you want to do that. Like that some people are too scared to use cannabis outside, and they end up using cannabis at home, so therefore they don't get to experience what it's like to go out into nature and enjoy cannabis out there, because many people really enjoy that out there. But I know many people who gave up cannabis quite simply because they couldn't socialise around their cannabis use, because they were always having to stay at home and use cannabis because they were afraid to go in case they got caught by the law. Again, change that. You provide for people the opportunity to go out and to socialise and to use cannabis more openly. You definitely be finding then that this myth would be completely debunked, because probably some of the most motivated people out there, Sha Richardson, for all of the other people who don't need to be named, Snoop Dogg, come on, that's absolutely ridiculous. Like that Russell Bantad, an amazing individual in his own right, achieved at the doctor status, one which I hope to achieve myself, and join Dr. Keane and Dr. Ian too. So Dr. Martin, I might change my name then to the Ganja Man or something like that. Like, so we Dr. Ganja Man says this about cannabis, but we'll see. We'll get there, but certainly, not lacking motivation anyway, and Russell, dude, fucking legend, stop it, man. Absolute legend with the support coming through today, saying, man, I fucking love this section of the show. Hashtag science. Science, bitch. I should really go and get me lab coat. It's in my bag behind me actually, but it would make me look more suited to this part of the show, wouldn't it? I should make it a more permanent part of the show. And I should also make this more permanent part of the show also. This one, I was looking for this last week, but it's my old buddy Fred. I couldn't think of his name the other day when I was trying to think of his quote that I was trying to regurgitate, but it's quite a lengthy one. But I think I got the essence of it anyway, around the law needing to be respectful in order for it to be respected. But this is coming from the author of a book called The Law. He's a French economist from the 1800s era. The book was put out in 1850. His name is Frederick Bastiat. Frederick Bastiat had this to say. He said, no, and obviously you said translated from French. No, I think it is anyway. No society can exist if respect for the law. Sorry, I'll start that again. No society can exist if respect for the law does not, to some extent, prevail. But the surest way to have the laws respected is to make them respectable. When law and morality are in contradiction, medical cannabis, the citizen finds himself or herself, Evelyn Corrigan, hashtag, or Alicia Maher, in the cruel dilemma of either losing their moral sense or of losing respect for the law. Two evils, one is at greater at the other, and between which it is difficult to choose. But really, when it comes to medical cannabis, it's not really too difficult to choose. Quite often or not, people are like, oh yeah, hand me that joint there. I'll see if it'll help my back pain. That was the case of ex-sheriff Darren White, who was a guest on the show, at hanging out with a bunch of buddies. Was suffering because I believe it was sciatica, nerve damage that was done because of his days as a paratrooper. And obviously, being an ex-sheriff was kind of like, oh, what, really? This stuff like that, that's not going to work. And he's kind of tried it. But then he was just like, wow, he didn't even have to go home. He was able to stay. I think it was a Super Bowl he was at with his buddies at the time. And he was able to stay. He didn't have to go home and take his medication and go to bed, because normally that medication would normally send him to bed. That's the case. So it's not too difficult to choice for people to actually make. What you choose, like illegally healed or legally suffering, and that's a choice. There's no choice at all, really. Come on, stop this. Back in the 1800s, they got the sense here. Our laws need to be respectful, in order for them to be respected. So what I take away from this is Frederick Bastiat would agree with the campaign currently of the civil disobedience movement here in Cork, and across Ireland. All of these cannabis reform protests. These protests are all going to be in the spirit of civil disobedience. Bring your cannabis, guys. Come on out. Don't be afraid of the law. If the law are there, stand your ground. We're united in this. So don't let them divide us. Don't be divided by fear. Don't let fear hold you back, because fear of doing the right thing, and we're not going to see change then if we allow fear to get in our way. So again, we're hopefully going to afford people the opportunity to come out right across Ireland with a number of more events to be announced, hopefully. But until then, we have Dublin Sunday, 2 p.m. Merrion Square above in Dublin. That is the effects of cannabis, I believe, or of cannabis prohibition is the title of the event above there, being run by Medical Cannabis for Ireland. Then you have Cork on the 7th of August. That's my good self down here in Cork, organising that. So pop that up on screen. Cannabis picnic in the park, yes. Picnic in the park for cannabis reform. That's Saturday, so that's one to look forward to. And then we have Kerry. Then is the next one to put into your calendar. The 21st of August, guys. I believe that is another Saturday, but I'm just going to check my calendar. Yeah, I believe that's a Saturday. That's at 2 p.m. and that's at the National Park in Killarney, organised by the amazing people down in the Kerry Cannabis Club. So again, more and more opportunities now for people to come out and have their say, to stand up for their rights. Because again, this is again standing up for your rights, freedom of association, to come out and associate with like-minded people who want to see a law change and who want to engage in a campaign of civil disobedience, a peaceful campaign. Again, it's all right to protest, and yeah, it'll be very interesting to see the authorities take that away from us. So don't be afraid, guys. Get out there, get involved. Fingers crossed there for the major protest, guys, then that they'll announce something for above in Dublin again in September. So let's see that happen. So that's it, guys. That's all of 420 news today, and almost out of Ishka. 1 second, I'm going to get more Ishka. I'll pop the number up on a line there as well, guys. Oops, wrong button. Boom. Greenbeard, you legend. Greenbeard's an absolute legend. Thrown in super chat there through the show as well. Greenbeard, you mad thing, you nice one. And he attached to that a character that's bowing and saying thank you. Greenbeard, you're an absolute legend, man. Thanks very much again for supporting the show. Again, it's not the first time you got in there behind the show as well. So really feeling the love here today, guys, from Ollie. Like, thanks very much. Ferg also getting one in there as well a little bit earlier. I'll pop that back up in screen there, Ferg. So nice one there. Shout out to the Cork Herbal Products, legends, supporting the show as always. So thanks very much, guys, for the support. Bear with me 1 second, and I'll just go grab some liquid lubrication there for the old throat. There we go. 2 shakes of it hill. That's all it took. Yes. Ooh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Whew. So yeah, guys, that is all of the news anyway, as I said. Let's get stuck on into the comments. Oh, I forgot to pop the number up there. That's because of you beautiful man, GB. Thanks very much, dude. But there is the number, guys. If anybody wants to give a call in, you can do so here anonymously if you're a person out there who's suffered at the hands of the law. If you want to ring in and just express, your support to TV, the 999. But by all means, guys, I'll open up the line there now. And we'll leave it open there for 15 minutes. We'll have a bit of crack there for the next 15 minutes. I'll have a flick through your comments there as well, guys. Give me 1 second as I just set up this piece. So boom, that is key. Yes, I believe we're all connected there. Anyway, so the line is open, guys. Get calling if you want. Oh, there we go. Oh, look who it is. Dude, Russell, man. Russell, you're a fucking loony, boy. Hey, doctor. What's going on, my man?
Martin, you fucker. You got my bank account flagged.
I got your bank account flagged?
Yeah, I just donated you another 50 and they were like, we suspect fraud. Fuckers. Fuckers.
Yeah, they've never seen so much love, but that's their problem. They're just jealous it's not coming their way.
Lad, €100. Come on, if you all donate like €2, you can all out donate me. Come on. I want to get Martin a golden trowel. I want a golden trowel for you, so when you're like doing like your planting, you can like take it out and you can be like blinging, while you do it.
That'd be hilarious.
Anyway, I don't know. It was just donations before the protest, so I was like, add to the cannabis hub,
Excellent.
And,
come here, you're an absolute legend in that, but you're going to enable an unreal service that's incredibly needed, I think, at this current time to facilitate the socializing of myself and yourself and some other great people out there. Like, who would have known if I didn't set out in this a year ago, we would have never have known, that there was such a community out there that's currently there at the moment. All you fucking amazing people that are there. Maybe your own high and homegrown, like we would have got it, possibly.
And also, we can't be using my place to keep coming out, because when I get roommates again, they're going to think it's really weird when we come out in the morning and there's just like 8 stoners just like passed out in the fucking kitchen. So
yeah, no, let's not do that.
We need the hub.
Yeah,
we got to keep donating. All right, I'm calling Alicia later, so I'll give you a shout when I'm doing that.
Happy days. I look forward to that.
You know what? Donate, people, donate, share, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and I don't know, go I don't know, Patreon? Bitcoin? I still don't know the Bitcoin, man.
Yeah, well, if people really wanted to donate and support it, the Bitcoin is probably the best currently through the website, or also PayPal if you send it as a friend, then that they don't attach any fees to that. So, and again, all
man,
that.
You need to get Revolut. Get Revolut.
I have it, but I just haven't put the €15 into it to open the account.
Oh man, just do it, because it's so easy. You just and you keep all the money as well. And I literally you can tap phones together as well, man. It's so handy.
Yeah, and I believe they have
pick up donations for Martin's World, man. Just walk around and you'll be like, the scene in Robin Hood where like, hands for the poor, and just walk around with your phone. For the poor cannabis hub,
Yeah, definitely. So, we won't need to be begging, alright. I think
no. But that's how we'll get the donations for the hub,
Definitely, yeah. We could set that up on the streets, as we're out there protesting, like, have a little hub there, like, where you can come over and donate, like, at the next protest.
Oh, man, you're so funny. All right. Take it easy anyway, man.
Yeah, you too. Nice one for calling in, and come here, unreal with the support, man. I'm going to have to bake you a big brownie, definitely, this time. I owe it.
All right. Take it easy anyway.
Peace, nice one. So there you go. That was the doctor himself. The doctor was in the house. Russell Banta. Nice one, Russell. You legend. You're after up and up. A train of donations here, Russell. Well done, man. Honestly, thanks very much, dude. Guys, everyone who's donating there, much appreciated, guys. As we were talking about there, we will put all that together to hopefully to get a hub up and running. And again, as I say, like for this hub to stay up and running, it needs to be self-perpetuating. And I definitely see a kind of a cafe model to be incorporated into that, or maybe a kind of some form of a club model anyway. But places in the city ain't too cheap at the moment anyway. That's a big barrier, like when you get going with these rates and everything, like I can't see any other way around it other than getting maybe a kind of a cafe or a vape lounge. Yeah, a vape lounge sounds nice there, Russell. I think we can make it happen. We get no sponsorship there from Starks and Bickle and stuff like that, and have the first vapor lounge in Cork, hopefully. Yeah, we can see what happens. But legends, guys. Republic of Dave, they are also getting in on the donation trend, saying young Jamie will is law. Legend, Republic of Dave, guys. You're all blowing me away here. Like fucking, honestly, like you're touching me. I didn't expect so much support coming in for the show today as it has. But honestly, guys, we hopefully now we'll see this idea, this kind of dream come to reality a lot sooner, thanks to your kind of very generous donations, and also because of the increase in price of Bitcoin. Yeah, definitely there was some donations given in through Bitcoin back when Bitcoin was a little bit cheaper, and yeah, we've seen like that go up to, was it like nearly €2,000 or something in donations through Bitcoin, because of it going up to like, was it like 50 grand there at one stage? It was up like nearly 2,000 quid in the wallet. Price went back down. There was still 1,000 quid there, but it's still there. I haven't touched any of it. So again, as I say, Bitcoins, guys, if you're not already in it, get in it. Like, just chuck back a couple of €10 away to it. And again, Casa de Strogas will probably vouch for this as well. And in a couple of years, go back and see, like, you know, what's a couple of tenors like when you're thinking of a couple of years investment. You can make the same investment in through a bank or whatever, and they could fucking fall on its face and they lose it. So definitely, guys, crypto is the way forward for sure. Like, if it's not Bitcoin, Ethereum is also a good option, and others out there as well. But yeah, get in on it. And if you want to donate, that's a good option. I should make it more easy for people to donate other forms of Bitcoin as well. I don't have any options up there currently, but I'll definitely do that there very soon. Love the comments coming in, guys. Skitanis, did I hear the golden shower? And Miss Dow is also bringing up a very valid point, that not being bad, but whoever is doing the Marian protest needs to raise awareness. I would agree with you there, because I did not know about it at all until it was after the 10th of July, actually. Somebody mentioned it in a chat, and I was just kind of like, oh yeah, but where's the link to that? Like, send in some like more info there, and I'll start talking about it on the podcast. And I got very little. Like, I got a link to an event that was supposed to happen last year, I think it was, and then it was getting changed, it was getting updated as it was kind of happening. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll follow back with them. But then I could never find it again afterwards. I don't know, did the event get taken down off of Facebook, or what was the crack there with it, but I couldn't find it there afterwards. I don't see any messages after coming in since then with people sharing it to me. So no, I don't think anybody else has a link to it either. Like, I wonder, can I find it just through the events that I've interacted with on Facebook? Let me see, where's events? No, I can't find this up here at all. Events. There we go. Events. Upcoming. The Cannabis Effect. Oh, I found it. Merrion Square at, was I right? 2 o'clock. Is it 2 o'clock? 2 o'clock. I was right, guys. I was right. Marty's on the ball. Yeah, I messed up Peter Cricant's name a while ago, but I didn't get this one wrong. So here it is for all you people as I was talking about it. This was the event page there over on Facebook. It's the Cannabis Effect. That's what it's called. The Cannabis Effect at 2 p.m. August 1st, Merrion Square, Medical Cannabis Ireland and Illegalised Cannabis Ireland. So that's the two groups that are tagged there, I believe. And this is some of the information up there. The Cannabis Effect is how you can read that there for a second. We'll see who we got on the phone. Hello, welcome to Martin's World.
Hi, Martin. How's it going?
Very good. Who have we got?
This is Daniel.
Daniel, welcome to the show, Daniel.
Thank you. I have a very serious question to ask you.
Go for it. What is it?
What's your go-to munchie food?
Go-to munchie? Oh, it probably is Nutella and toast, and it has to be soaked in butter as well.
Oh, really? Jeez, wow, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it's savage. It's crazy. Or if I have crackers, they're cream crackers, and some butter and Nutella, or even butter and jam. Oh my god, man. Yeah, it's not a pretty sight. In fairness, I just don't stop until one of them is gone.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and to put a third, put a third one in there then as well. You have to include the good. You can't fail with this is tea and chocolate digestive biscuits. Oh my goodness, that's another one that lifetime of regrets there around that.
Wow.
Yeah, digestives, contrary to as they're named, they're not actually very helpful when it comes to digestion. Let me just leave it at that.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks for letting me know. Thank you.
No bother at all. Where are you calling from, can I ask?
I'm coming from Dublin.
Dublin, nice one. Thanks for taking the time to call in. I really appreciate it, and for the question too.
Worries.
Enjoy that one.
Thanks very much.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Nice. Are you going to be at the protest actually Sunday?
Yeah, I think I'll go down. Yeah, I'll have a look, see what's happening. You know.
Excellent. Yeah, it'll be worthwhile, and hopefully I'll see you down there anyway. If you see me, make sure you come over and say hi and say, "Hey, I'm Daniel."
Yeah, nice.
I might have some brownies with me.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Yeah, that'd be great.
Savage. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, so Daniel.
All right. Yeah, you too.
Good luck, bud. So that is Daniel from Dublin. Thanks very much again there, Daniel, from giving a call in. I see Hype is out there sharing what I think is your favourite munchies. Is it Hype? Kinder Pengus, is it? Those Pingu things? Is it like the ones that they keep in the fridge? Those white, soft, like spongy ones? Yeah, I definitely rob those from a few people who love them in my household as well. They're delicious, actually, in fairness. Yeah. Also, did you ever get those hippos? What are those? You get them down in Deals. You get like a 4-pack of them. Hippos with the they have either like a white chocolate filling or hazelnut and a filling. Oh man, I could have went on with a long list of munchies that I kind of lose control with sometimes. Yes, Republic of Dave. Nutella and French toast is the ultimate combination, and I'll fight everyone who disagrees. Republic of Dave, I am going to have to try that sometime, but if it's bad, man, I'm coming for you. Nutella and French toast. So you mean French toast with egg, like, yeah, egg soaked toast, fry it up, and what do you do? Dip it into your Nutella, or do you spread Nutella onto it? I'm curious, like that's very intriguing. But again, don't knock it till you try it. Is what I believe when it comes to foods, and the most surprising combinations, like, will could blow you away. Man, literally a whole blueberry cheesecake. Yeah, nice. I'm a strawberry cheesecake man myself, Russell. So I hope you don't take any offense to that. But but yes, cheesecakes are up there as well. Fucking a great choice to be making. Wagon wheels. Yes, love wagon wheels as well. Are you a jam man though, Podge? I was a jam man for the wagon wheels. Like, I had them in my lunchbox all my childhood. Like. And yeah, you would eat the top layer off, and then try to peel out the white part in the middle, and then eat the other part at the end. Like, I was a bit of a freak when it came to the old wagon wheel, but come on, like, who didn't do it? Like, yeah, definitely. Anyone out there dip their chocolate bars into their yogurts? That was something I did for a while, and it was quite nice. Into the petit flus, you know, your penguins. And even the club milks actually were nice as well. childhood weird kind of eating habits like that we used to do in school. The ham and cheese sandwiches just weren't entertaining enough, so we had to just combine what you had, like, to just make fucking creations. Kids, man, you know what I mean? Just looking to explore creativity. What else? Spread Nutella onto it and layer the slices like pancakes. It's got a perfect consistency right off the pan. Nice. That sounds very interesting. Like, because I love my Nutella and pancakes. Like, you know, they're savage. You know, I'd have imagined that, like, French toast is probably somewhat like almost a pancake in its own right. Just a little less, you know, floury maybe. I don't know, actually, maybe you might have the same amount of flour in the bread, like, but who knows. I'm definitely going to have to try that, though. I'm making French toast soon. I'll get some pictures up, and I might get a video of the whole experience as well, Dave, for you. This is all your fault, Daniel. Daniel, after opening up a can of worms here, look, and Jesus, we're experimenting with food now of you as well. So guys, I'm gonna have to switch off the phone line there now, because I'm gonna have to bounce out and join the guys at the Patients for Safe Access for our weekly meeting there every Friday evening. We're meeting for the last year and a bit now. But yeah, definitely I'm gonna have to start signing off. Your comments are still coming in there. Nice one for that. Husky saying chocolate malt with crisps was my favourite. Husky, where are you with your flavour of crisps? When it came to crisps and chocolate, my favourite combination was a Whisper with the Walker's prawn cocktail, or maybe any kind of prawn cocktail really, but it was always Walker's that I went for. The Walker's prawn cocktail, the pink packet with the Whisper chocolate bar, man. Oh my god, what a combination that used to make as well. I used to get that when I was on the road, fitting windscreens at the lunch, getting the old hot chicken roll, Whisper bar, and pink Walkers, the prawn cocktail ones. Oh, savage. What was yours? I'm interested to know what flavours you would have went with your chocolates. Nice. Biscoff have a spread. They do. Chilbert hitting him with pancakes. They're nice. Can't go wrong with pancakes, guys. Mark Andrew saying, thanks again, Martin. Great entertaining show. Not a bother at all, Mark. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate all you out there in the audience, guys. Without you, there would be no show. So loving the interaction here as well. I love that question there as well coming in for Daniel. We could do another whole hour here on all of the food and the munchies that all you have. Husky getting in there, cheese and onion, nice. Any particular bar, Husky? Was it dairy milk? That was my dad's. My dad loved dairy milk, cheese and onion, potatoes, and popcorn. That was his combination. Like, I used to remember going down to the shop for him as a young fella, and that was it. A can of Coke, fucking popcorn, potatoes, and bar of chocolate. It was always the same. Dairy milk, Walker's cheese and potato cheese and onion, or Walker's cheese and onion, and the fucking Manhattan normal popcorn, the salted ones. That had to be it. And the can of Coke. No wonder he had a heart attack, the fucker, like at the age of 39. Has me on me back leg now. Do you know what I mean? Always kind of looking to be defensive there around me old heart, because my dad had him on at an early age. But when I look at his food choices, really, like, and his lifestyle choices, it's kind of any wonder. Late nights DJing, drinking pints, smoking fags, eating that kind of food, like, isn't any wonder he ended up where he is. Like, feck that, like. I go running with my dogs, train regularly. I try to eat healthy foods. I limit my smoking to cannabis, and I try to get early nights. Like, but I definitely don't have an overconsumption of alcohol there anyway. Like, so hopefully I don't go the same way as my dad's dad and have a heart attack at like the fucking in his 50s. No, that's not for me. Do everything in my effort that I can to avoid that. And you're all probably out there laughing now, and he was saying like, oh yeah, fucking Nutella and toast with a load of butter. Okay, guys, all right. Like, I have weaknesses. Like, it's not too often I do it. Like, and you know, it's just whenever there's a jar of Nutella, like, and it doesn't stop until it's gone. Like, you know, it's almost a race with the kids. Like, right, guys, love it. Podge85 says prawn cocktail and salt and vinegar with a double decker. Nice, Podge, nice combination there as well. I love a good old double decker as well, but they really get the jaw going. Good for the chew. But yeah, they're definitely combining that with some potatoes there as well. Prawn cocktail. Yeah, I can definitely see the taste there. All right, yeah, my mouth's watering already, Podge. Potato and Manhattan dry roasted peanuts, epic combo. Nice one, Green Bear. Love that. But yeah, definitely. I love the peanuts and popcorn actually myself. That's a lovely combination. Yeah, you can't go wrong. But peanuts and potatoes, definitely savage. Don't worry, Martin, that's what it's called, munchies. That's why it's called munchies. Nice. That's coming from Skatanist and Greenbird saying, FNL Martin, I'm effing Marvin now listening to the munchie talk. Sorry guys, I didn't realise it was coming either myself. I'm supposed to go out and do a bit of a run there after my call with the lads at the Patients for Safe Access, but the only place I'll be running to now is probably to the cupboard. Hopefully there's definitely a little bit of jam down there. Oh my god, I've been having jam and toast there the last few nights, and the melted butter with the jam and just the crunchiness of the toast as well. Like, you know, you have to let the toast cool down a little bit as well, before you get the butter on. You don't want it too soaked in the melted butter. Like, you know, just the right temperature. Do you know what I mean? Get the butter, or to get the jam on there then as well. Oh, good lord. The thoughts about it, look forward to it already. And DV Woodcraft is getting offended out there. Nobody's has said Yorkie yet. Yorkies are good too. Like, I definitely know my daughter's fond of the old Yorkies herself, and she always laughs about the it's not just for women. So yeah, guys. Who else is there? Irish Parvis getting in there as well, saying picnic bars are good too, and Dan Monaghan saying popcorn and Nutella. Interesting, nice. Would you obviously you might have to melt the Nutella first, like, you know, that you're not like, even popcorn won't dip into it, like, especially when it's a bit going into the colder months here in Ireland. Like, Nutella gets hard, like, do you know what I mean? That's a balls when you're trying to spread it in toast as well as when it's like fucking the deep into the winter there, like. It's about, first world problems. Fuck's sake, having to melt your Nutella before you spread it in your toast. Nice one, everybody, for tuning in. I see the comments flying in there, guys. I'm definitely going to have to sign off and join the guys over at the Patients for Safe Access. I'm 5 minutes tardy already, so I love that there, guys. I really love that interaction. I loved where Daniel brought the final part of the show there down Munchie memory lane. Love all the combos coming in there again, like, you know. Great over on the Discord. Maybe this is a new thread we get up there. Munchies, just nothing but recommendations for munchies. Munchie pictures and all of that, like. And if you're not already on the Discord, guys, get over there. We got a great Discord going over at the moment under the Cannabis Reform Ireland is the name of the server, I believe. Cannabis Reform Ireland. I'm just going to double check that now before I finally sign off, because I don't want to be sending you to the wrong Discord. So yes, it is Cannabis Community Ireland. That's the name of the Discord. That's over there up and running. We have 15 members at the moment. So if you want to get in on it, definitely send me a message there, or maybe I'll include a link there in the description a bit later on. So if you want to go back and check it out, and you'll find it. I should make more effort to share that more. I'm terrible at fucking promoting these things, but yeah, we'll get better at this. We'll become better at marketing. It was always a weak point, so I know my weaknesses. I have to work on them. Guys, peace and love. Keep your lid out there. Stay blazed. I will be back with more 420 news on Wednesday, guys. It's a long weekend, so forgive me. I will be back on Wednesday. So I will take the weekend, the extra long weekend. I'll get out there and enjoy it with the family. We might go climb Carron Tool, actually, with my daughter. So we might take that upon us there on Sunday. So I look forward to that. Look out for updates on that, but I will be back Wednesday, guys, with 420 news. So be safe out there on the long weekend, guys. The Gardai, they like to set up more checkpoints over the long weekend, so be very aware of that. The smell of cannabis is the most common way of getting your car searched, guys, so be prepared for that. But otherwise, guys, have a fucking blessed weekend. Keep her lit, stay blazed. I'll be back Wednesday 420 with more 420 news. Peace and love.